Good evening, guys. There'll be a 2-minute silence in remembrance of the Remembrance Sunday. So, be right back. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. I am your host with the most, Malc. Tonight, we're at the glorious race of the Japanese Grand Prix. And I will say this now, my legendary commentator, the American commentator Tim, will be joining me late during the qualifying. So if you notice why it was a bit of a pause there, there was a 2-minute silence in respect to the Remembrance Sunday. So fair respect to the drivers here tonight to start off with as well. So, is Biofreak? No. Oh, Stephen? No. Yos. It looks like it may be Mr. B. It may be Mr. P that will be doing the qualifying here tonight at the Suzuka circuit track at the Japanese Grand Prix. And like I said, this is an absolutely classic track. The only track that does the figure of 8 on the circuit here as well. But also we will have 27 laps at Suzuka circuit. We will have it is a 3.608 miles with a 5.806 kilometers at this point in time. And also it's again with the pre-season races. The guys are on different cars here. They're all on equal performance, so it's easier for all the admins to make sure that they all get on the correct cars during the whole season. Before we kick off next week, I can't believe we're about to kick off a brand new season of the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. And here you go, here's the proper Suzuka track here, coming to the DRS straight now. On the Suzuka track now. The yellow flag's at the 3 at the moment here, but here's the first corner, the first curve corner here, passing turn 1, then to turn 2 now. And then coming up to, which is turn 3, and then 4. This is the trickiest part of them all here with 5. As long as you get the rhythm going. So Spud's gone a little bit wide there at turn 6 there, and then coming up the hill there with turn 7. You have to be full fast pace there as much as possible there, and then passing into turn 8, which is the end of the first sector here. You have to be fast paced at that point there. Then turn 9 under the bridge now, and this is the coming up to, which is turn 10, and then into the hairpin at turn 11 now. This is a part where you could make or break with the times there. Passing into turn 11, then coming down the curve here into turn 12 here, and then coming up to, which is the unluckiest turn of them all, which is turn 13 now. Oh, nearly Mr. P has made a massive mistake there at turn 13, and that was passing turn 14 now, so that will compromise his lap there. So I'm hoping he'll tell us more about the DRS. We're passing Spoon Curve now. And then end of the second sector time there. Into 130R at turn 15 there. And then this is the part where the famous Senna Prost moment there in turn 16 and then 17 and then 18 now passing the curve there. So that's the lap of the Japanese Grand Prix from Mr. P's point of view there. But who has got that lap there? So Nitrocash is in pole position here with a 132.4. Ferocious stands to 129.667 there. So that's a cracker of a time there. And Zimon is in second place with a 130.139. Biofreak SA is to 131.3 on the hards. That's a cracker of a time there, to be fair, on the hard tyres there. Sheep is going to pole position now with a 129.312. And we're under 12 minutes left of the qualifying. Under 12 minutes left. Good evening to everyone else joining the session. I hope you enjoy the Japanese Grand Prix for the second race of the pre-season. The second and only last race of the pre-season before we kick off here. I don't know if Rush Stan is going to try and improve, but where's Luke Bailey? Luke Bailey moves up to fourth there with a 130.682. So the times are all kicking in now. Jos, Mr. Sky C, the Drivers' Championship winner from the last 3 seasons there. He's done a 128.464. That's a cracker of a time there on the soft tyres there. And Jos has made a massive mistake there on the hard tyres there, on just under the bridge there. So hopefully he'll try and capitalise on it as much as possible there. But is TL44S TL44S is going through the trickiest first sector, passing to turn 7 now. Up the hill part there. You have to be absolutely perfect there with the Williams car there. And then into the end of the first sector. Yellow flag set to 2. Yellow flag set to 2, so something must happen there. But still, TL44S is still putting on the pedal to the metal here with the qualifying here. One of the Ferraris will need to get out of the way there. I believe that's Biofreak. I believe. So he's done that, and TL44S is trying to push that car to the limit here. We've got Sab, Jos, Ozone, Mr. P, TL44S and Spud are the only ones who have not done a lap yet in this qualifying here. We're coming up to the 10-minute marker soon here. The yellow flag's at 2 just behind TL44S. Maybe from sorry, may not be Biofreak, so I do apologise. It was Mr. Sky C on there. So can TL44S pass into turn 16 now, into 17 now, and into 18 at this point in time. Can he try and do a brilliant time here? And he does, to be fair. He's doing a 129.2. 9 minutes 53 left on the qualifying there. So TL44S has done a 129.264. Unbelievable stuff there. Can Spud now to try and do everything possible here. Now, the tyre wear strategies now. The best strategy to go for is the soft mediums with the one-stop. So the one-stop strategy is the way to go forward here at this track here. The soft mediums you can do up to lap 11 and then 16 laps of the medium tyres. But the softs can last about 11 to 12 laps fresh. So. Oh, so Spud has made a mistake. So Spud has made a mistake there. That will compromise his damaged front wing there. Can Nitrogas try and improve his time here with 132.4? Oh no, he's just... Oh, he was teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. Madness. Absolutely madness stuff here. Fresh stands doing his out lap now. Can Ozone? Ozone's doing his start of his lap here now. Passing the famous first and second corners now. And then into the S's part here. This is a part where I think this is more crucial here, because if you get that rhythm going, you can get a good lap there, as what Mr. Skycy has just done with a 128.464. That's still a cracker of a time there, 8 tenths quicker than TL44S. That's still immense. That's still immense. So fair play to it. Ozone's coming up too. He's on the medium tyres at the minute. So if you're on the fresh tyres, the one stop is the way to go forward. But by the looks of things, with the track here, it's very difficult, to be fair. But it could happen here at any moment in time here. But with the tyre wear, you can do soft mediums. You can do medium softs, but you would lose 5.8 seconds of a gap So that's massive there. That's the worst strategy to go for if you're going to go mediums hards for the one stop. Soft hards, you can get a little bit quicker than the 5.8 second gap, but you'll only be 4.2 as there. Ozone's passing 130 hard now. This is one of the most famous corners there as we speak here. But you can do medium softs, but you will lose out by a tenth. So either way, it doesn't matter. But like I said, Ozone has gone into the mediums now, into the 129.758. So that's still a crack of the time there on the mediums. There. So as things stand here, Mr. Skyzy is in the lead with first place. TL4FS is in second at the moment. Sheepy is in third. Ferocious Dan is in fourth. Ozone Typhoon is in fifth place. Simon is in Simon, sorry, I can't say Simon. Simon, I do apologise. Simon is in sixth place. Luke Bailey is in seventh place here. They're all going out for fresher tyres there. Sab has retired from the session here. Yellow flags at the one. Yellow flags at sector one there. So I wonder if he hit the wall there as he's going up the hill there, which can happen there. You've got to be absolutely careful there. If that is the call, if that is what I'm predicting, what happened there with Sab. If it isn't, then I'm not sure what exactly happened there. But Jos hasn't done the time. Same with Mr. P and Sir Spud there. So, we might have the American commentator coming up fairly soon there. So we're going to introduce him in a moment or two. So I'm going to have to give him a little bit of an update there. TB has retired from the session as well. Jos has moved up to second. Jos has moved to second now with a 129.9, 5 tenths off Mr. Skyzy's time. I'm hoping the yellow flags will still be there because I'd like to see if it is what I believe could be. Oh, it's there. Oh, that might be TB's corner there. So that'll be at turn 3 there. That was a bit of a shock of that one there, to be fair, in my personal opinion. But I'm hoping we'll find out sooner rather than later here. Yellow flags at the 3 now. Yellow flags at the 3. So see what Sheepy can do now. He's done a 29.3 on the softs. Oh, he's teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. Madness. Ferocious Dan is in 5th place in the minute. He's done a 129.3 now. So absolutely madness. So good evening to Sab there. So, and also good evening to the legendary American commentator Tim. How you doing, mate? You all right?
What's going on, Malc? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just now getting in, as everyone can see, and right now we're underway for the qualifying session, and wow, only 5 minutes remaining. How's it been going so far, Malc?
Oh, it's been absolutely brilliant, Tim. Absolutely brilliant. Mr. Skyzy's just improved his time with a 128.3. Simon has moved up to second place with a 128.6. Jos is in a 128.9. So 3 drivers are hitting the 128s. By the looks of things, Mr. Skyzy could hit the 127s if he fancies to do another lap here. So, like I said, Tim, do you like Japanese Grand Prix?
Oh yeah, for sure. I love watching it. Even in real life, or earlier this year. And I really believe it's going to be very exciting. Is now BioFreak actually goes very wide right now, but he's just going to let another car go by. I can't quite tell who that is, but he went wide and he was in the grass. Now he's back on track. He is rounding what looks like to be the penultimate quarter, about to complete this lap, but obviously not going to be a fast one.
No, absolutely not. I was looking at BioFreak just as you was mentioning about it, but I'm going back to Luke Bailey now. It looks like he's going to try and improve his time now. We've got 4 minutes left on the qualifying. 4 minutes left. Oh, absolutely madness stuff here. Can we see any shocks on the way here? Do you think there'll be a shock in the top 3 tonight, Tim?
Well, when I came in, I heard you talking about Mr. Skyzy maybe being able to get to a 127, and, I do believe you're correct that if he wants to go back out there, he could get a 127. It's at a 128.3 right now. That's really not too far off from the 27 mark, but I'd say at the moment that he's probably comfortable sitting there and just kind of biding his time and waiting to see what happens first.
Absolutely, absolutely. But bear in mind, though, Simon is only 3 tenths off. He's only 3 tenths off the leader on Mr. Skyzy, the Drivers' Championship winner for the last 3 seasons of the Realistic Performance Leagues. And I'll tell you what, I'm still watching Luke Bailey now. Oh, he's teasing us again. He's going back into the pits. So Mr. P going to do his lapping, passing Spoon Curve now. So, who are you watching at the moment, Tim?
Well, I was watching Luke Bailey, but he went into the pits. Now going to F1, Mr. P80 in the Haas machine. Right now he is on medium tires. He's got 2 laps on those medium tires. Not sure what's going on there. But I expect him to maybe pit and take soft tires here before too long. But we'll see. He's not going to pit this time, though. He's going to try to complete his lap. As he crosses the line, will he be able to improve his time? He will not. It is still a 1:30.097 for F1, Mr. P.
Yeah, absolutely mad the stuff there from Mr. P there. So, out of the top 8, 6 of them are in the outlaps there. We're coming up to 2 minutes 15 left, Tim. Yeah, it's just absolutely madness stuff there. So, Spud, at the moment, he's in 14th place with 131.7. He's on. Oh, the mediums again, but they're going to the pits again. Ozone, I'm going to go back to Ozone now because he's doing his, looks like it might be his one and only lap here. And looks like one of the Red Bulls there. That could be Sheepy there as well. So Ozone and Sheepy are battling out through the S's in the first sector. But absolutely madness stuff there. But like I said, the communications have been absolutely spot on there, Tim. If you can hear me.
All right, yeah, that is wonderful. And right now, just currently watching TL44S. He's got a 129 right now. He's on his outlap. He's in the Williams at the moment. After he completes his outlap, of course, the timing will start, and we'll see if he can improve his time, currently running in the 4th position.
Yeah, so TL4 is just doing his outlap at the moment there, Tim. But I'm just still watching Ozone Typhoon now, still in 8th place here. But Yoss could be an opportunity here to try and cause a shock with the top 2. But like I say, Yoss is one of those drivers who can prove everyone wrong here by producing some good results there, Tim.
And, you know, that really would not be too much of a surprise to me. It's very possible indeed. Currently watching him right now as he's about to finish his lap.
Yeah, so we've got 40 seconds left. Can Ozone Typhoon make it to pole position? No, he moves up to 7th there with a 129.6. Sheepy moves up to 4th now with a 129 flat. Tim, Yoss is coming up to the final corner now. This is going to be absolutely madness stuff here. Can Yoss do it here? No. 128.752. 9 madness stuff there. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left, Tim. Who are you watching now? Ferocious Stab moves up to 2nd place.
Currently watching Mr. Sky Z, who has decided to take another lap. He's on his flying lap right now in that number 53 red Ferrari, and he is flying indeed. I'm riding on board with him right now, and he is just sailing it through these corners. I don't even understand how he's able to hang on to it, but nonetheless he is. He's going around that really tight hairpin, the uphill hairpin, and we're just going to see what he does. Will he be able to improve his time to maybe a 127 as you predicted, Malc?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, because I'll put my bets on it so much there. We'll have to wait and see what happens if I'm a winner or I lose out on that one. But, well, like I said, qualifying has now finished, Tim. Qualifying has now stopped. So we've got a few drivers left in the grid there to still try and do the laps in. So there's 6 out of the top 7 drivers are still out there to try and produce the goods there. Have to wait and see what happens here. But watching Mr. Sky, can he try and improve his time here with a 128.3, and he's coming up to the finishing straight now. Oh no, he does not improve his time, Tim.
It looked to me like, and correct me if I'm wrong, did he actually get loose coming out of the corner and almost hit the wall there?
Yeah, he did lose a little bit of the back end there, and he did, correct, Tim, he did hit the wall there at the start finishing line straight now. But Simon moves up to 2nd place now, Tim, with a 128.5 now. Can Frostan be in pole position here? He's the only one who's in the top 3. Oh, he's pitting now. Oh, I thought he was going to have a shock along the way there. So at the moment here, this is absolutely madness stuff there, Tim. I'll tell you what, Tim, I'll let you do the honours to carry on.
All right, well, currently I believe everybody has completed a lap, so really we're just waiting on the race at the moment. I'm currently watching Luke Bailey, though, in that Red Bull, and he seems to have a pretty decent pace. Not sure if he'll be able to improve on his time or not, with 1 minute 15 seconds remaining in the qualifying session. But I figured I thought he already completed his lap, and indeed he has.
Absolutely. So, here are your short qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix. for the Invictus Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. Mr. Sky C, the Drivers' Championship winner for the last 3 seasons, is in first place. Simon is in second place. Ferocious Dan is in third. Yoss is in fourth. Sheepy is in fifth. TL4S is in sixth. Ozone is in seventh. Biofreak SA is in 8th. Luke Bailey is in 9th. F1 Mr. P is in 10th. O Stevens in 11th. Nigel Gash is in 12th. TB 230791 is in 13th place. The Sport is in 14th place. And Sab is the only one out of the drivers there who have not had a time whatsoever because he had a DNF during the qualifying. So, Tim, like I said, with the Japanese Grand Prix, is there anyone that you recommend that you thought that might do well in the race tonight?
Well, Mr. Sky Z, I mean, of course, that's the easy answer. He's been the champion in the Performance League for the past few seasons now, and with him being in a Ferrari today, we're really going to find out just what happens. I think he's going to be fairly quick, but Zyman, he showed impressive pace because, as you said, he jumped up to second, and he was about third or fourth before then. And even Sheepy, who was running about 6th and then jumped up to 4th. So there's a few drivers up at the top half of the grid that can really shine through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right there. I might just go with those predictions there as well, because it depends if Mr. Sky Seeker has a good start like he always has done, or would any of the outsiders can try and prove the doubters wrong there and prove that they can be a good contender for the rest of the season there. But like I said, as I keep saying before, Tim, I'd rather make the mistakes now than the league stuff. Do you agree with that?
Most definitely. Where we have the preseason rate. That is why we have preseason, to get everybody back up to speed and figure out what we need to do, while we undertake the season. So it's definitely great to get any, quirks or just any mistakes or anything that, that is not ideal out of the way early on.
Absolutely stuff. And I think the drivers are all set and ready to go. Before we start properly for the formation lap, I will go through some of the advertisements and stuff. So, like I said, Invictus Racing Leagues. Not only we do the F1 we're on the YouTube channel for the Realistic Performance League on the Tuesday nights, but we also do the No Assist Leagues on. No Assist League. It's the F1 League. Sorry, I do apologise because that was revamped from No Assist to F1 with the greatest commentary team of them all, of Gareth and Sab in on the Monday nights. Myself and Tim on the Tuesday nights for the Realistic Performance League. And Wednesday nights we have the F2 and the F3 of Warris Lander and Energy Dan for F2, and again myself and Tim for the F3 leagues as well. But also, not only we do the F1 stuff, but we've got the podcast with Gareth and Sab as well. They're brilliant to tune in as well, to listen to their thoughts about the realistic, not the real life F1, and talk about the updates from the Invictus Racing Leagues as well. Not only are we on YouTube, but we're also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter as well. So make sure you subscribe and tune in as well for all the latest updates there, because we give you all the latest action there, all the finest action of them all on the Invictus Racing Leagues as well. But also check out the invictusracingleague.com for the site. And if you want to join in, register, that'll be absolutely fantastic stuff there. If you're enjoying the racing, this will be absolutely immense stuff there. But also, let's see you join as well. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, for the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel, for all the live updates as well. So, Tim, like I said, we've got 27 laps of the Japanese Grand Prix. With the tyre wear strategies here, the best strategy to go for is the one stop, which is the soft mediums. So the softs can go up to lap 11/12, mediums can last about 17 to 18 laps, and the hard can last about 21 to 22 laps on the glorious day at the Japanese Grand Prix. So, pressure on you, Tim. Who's going to be your top 3 at the end of the race tonight?
I'm not good at choosing top 3s. I have yet to win a single cent from the NBC Predictor app for the NASCAR races this year, but I'm going to go with Mr. Sky Z taking first place, Yas coming by for second, And I think we're going to have a really close battle between Simon and Ferocious Dan for that final podium position, and maybe even see Sheepy and TL44S stick their nose in there. But looking down the field, really, I want to name about half, if not all, the drivers, because even Ozone Typhoon, he's shown some decent speed in qualifying, and I think that he could even get up there and challenge for that final third position. But we're going to find out here in just a minute as you see the drivers now lined up on the grid and you see the red lights in the air. We are about to go live for the Invictus Racing League's Performance League Japanese Grand Prix, and we are green and away we go. Here we go, going down into turn one. Mr. Sky Z right now has a very, very nice lead, but just for the moment, Simon in the Haas. He is second, Ferocious Dan in third, but he is under a lot of pressure from the Alfa Romeo of Yas, who is now in third. And Ferocious Dan, there was a little bit of contact there, and Ferocious Dan drops down from third to fourth. Will it be down to fifth as TL44S and the Williams is all up on his back bumper? Meanwhile, Mr. Sky Z still leads the Haas of Simon with Yas really close behind. He is just right there in striking distance.
Yeah, I think there's something going on there. I think Ozone Typhoon, who started off in 7th place, he's dropped right down to 15th. I haven't seen what happened with him because I was watching what you were saying there, Tim. But looking at this moment in time, Yas is going to be closer to Simon here for second and third at this moment in time here. Coming up to the hairpin now at turn 11. Oh, he makes the move! He makes the move in the inside there. Oh my days. This is absolutely madness stuff there, Tim. Oh, this is going to be a classic. I can feel the excitement here coming in now. Here we go. Cans, Ferocious Dan, trying to close it on Yos on third place here. They've got a little bit wide there. Passing Spoon Curve corner there. Absolutely madness stuff there. We've got 3 cars battling out for third place here. Tim!
TL44S in the Williams, he is right there, and actually behind him we have a 4-car battle for third place right now because Sheepy83 in the Red Bull as Ferocious Dan goes wide. He is also in the mix. He is right on the back bumper of TL44S, who was on the back bumper of Ferocious Dan, who was on the back bumper of Yas. Ferocious Dan, meanwhile, he's now losing a little bit of ground to Yas as they round the final corner to cross the line to complete lap 1 for them.
Yeah, look at this battle between TL44S and Ferocious Dan. Try and go down the straight here. Oh, Ferocious Dan nearly went to the back of Yos there. Nearly went to the back, but he's still going. He's still going on that frantic battle here through the S's part here. He's still in the first sector. And it's only on lap 2 at 27. This is going to be, I'm feeling that this is going to be an absolute classic here, Tim.
Yeah, and I think Ferocious Dan actually expected TL44S to dive down on the inside of him going into turns 1 and 2 because he almost went a little bit wide, Ferocious Dan did. It really killed his momentum off of those corners, but he's been able to gain it back now so far. It looks like Yas is more or less pulling away at the moment, but Ferocious Dan, he is not giving up at all with TL44S on his back bumper.
Oh no, I think we've had a bit of a contact there from sector 2 there. It looks like TP has dropped down from 10th to 12th there. Nitrogas has moved to 10th place now. Oh, Stephen moves up to 11th place now. So some of the drivers who have had some great starts there, this is going to be an absolute belters here at this moment in time here. We've got a 5-car battle here. Maybe a 5-car battle for second place here. This is absolutely madness stuff there. Oh, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say at the passing 130. Oh, absolutely madness stuff here. Tim.
And Yas sails it into that corner, and he brakes really late. I thought for a minute he was going to pound the back of Simon, but he did not. Yas kept it under control. Very nice driving from the both of them. Very clean driving. That's what I like to see. This is hard competitive racing, but it is clean. As now Yas maybe, he thought about making a move going into turn 1, but he knew he was nowhere near being able to make that corner, so he just holds off and stays in third, nose to tail behind Simon 118.
Yeah, he's still trying everything possible here, Yos, at this moment in time here. I can't believe there's like a 5-car battle here for second place. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. But also, Mr. P, Luke Bailey, Nitrogas are having a ding-dong battle there for 8th, 9th and 10th respectively here, as we might just go back to them. We might just go to them in a moment or two there. But I just want to see if there's any action going on here. Actually, I'm going to go to Luke Bailey. I'm going to close in on his... to F1 Mr. P for 8th place here. Oh my days, this is lap I can't believe this has been lap 3. Absolutely madness stuff here, Tim. I mean, with the track itself, it's one of those famous tracks where you can't make any mistakes, and also the tyre wear is absolutely, it's crucial with this situation here, Tim. Do you agree?
Oh, for sure. And, you know, most drivers, I'm pretty sure, started on the softs and looking at what they have fitted right now. Of course, there hasn't been any pit stops, so obviously they are still running on the tires that they started on, but it looks like predominantly it is soft tires through the field. We have about 4 or 5 drivers that have elected to take the mediums, and even one that looks like they're on the hards right now. So we might be seeing a little bit of different strategies take place here, but it looks like softs, at least most people feel that that's the way to go early on, and we're going to see just what happens here as Mr. Sky Z still leads. What's going on, Malc?
Luke Bailey moves up to 8th place now, passing F1 Mr. P 84, passing the DRS straight now because the DRS has already been activated from lap 3 onwards here. Absolutely magic stuff there. Tim.
And Luke Bailey now, he has a clear track ahead of him, but he is only in 8th place instead of being in first where he would like to be. But he sees that red Ferrari of Biofreak up ahead. Will he be able to catch him? We will have to find out in a few laps as F1 Mr. P just watches that Red Bull disappear on the horizon. F1 Mr. P just not able to get the speed at the moment to challenge Luke Bailey as he just pulls away in that Red Bull.
Yeah, hopefully he'll try and pull away as quickly as possible. We've got quite a battles here. I've just got on to the top between 2nd and 6th place here for the 5-car battle here for 2nd place. Absolutely manic stuff there. Like I said, Mr. P, Nitrogash and Steven.
Simon went wide. Simon 118 has went wide, and Yas is now underneath of them. They are side by side and wheel to wheel going down this very long straightaway. Who will prevail? Yas has the preferred line. He's on the inside. Simon is now behind Yas. Yas has cleared Simon in the Alfa Romeo. And Simon, of course, in the Haas. Now they're heading into these really tight chicane. The ultimate corner here. Yas in 2nd, Simon in 3rd, and it looks like there is nothing done for Simon.
No, but Frostan TL4 first went trying to go for the inside there, but he missed out there, but he might make the move. He gets Frostan and he makes the move. Simon back into 2nd place there. Oh,
and Sheepy gets by Frostan as well going into turn 1. He just came out of absolutely nowhere. I just looked back inside Red Bull just flying through the field, and it was Sheepy now moving up into 5th place.
Yeah, that was just immense stuff there, Tim. That's absolutely immense stuff there. But like I said, we've got a 5-car battle here for between 2nd and 6th there. And also we've got Nitro Goes Mr. P for one of the other battles there. And as well as Steven and Sab, well, TB as well. But TB's dropped down now to 14th place now, I do apologise. So like I said, Frostan trying to close in on the hairpin corner there. But look at TL4 he might have a chance here against Yoss here if he plays his cards right here. Absolutely madness! Fantastical! Tim.
This is just a race that has me on the edge of my seat. I am not sweating, and I am very surprised that I am not.
Oh!
And now there is a wreck! There is a wreck! It is TL4 Perez and the Williams. It is the Williams and TL4 Perez, and who else is involved in that, Malc?
Simon and TL4 Perez. There's been a contact there between the two drivers there. I'm not sure exactly what happened in Simon's car, but it looked like TL4 Perez was trying to go on the inside, trying to avoid the contact there, but unfortunately there was a bit of contact at that point in time there. So TL4 Perez, who was battling out for a podium here tonight, is going to drop right himself down to 11th place. I wouldn't be surprised if he pits for the hards as of now. Tim.
And that was a big development as TL4 Perez was really in contention for a podium here today, but I don't think that's going to happen now as he undoubtedly has to fix some wing damage, so he's going to go ahead and make his pit stop now, but that was just unfortunate. Again, I have no idea what happened, same as you, Malc. I just looked up and saw a Williams in the grass.
Yeah, I saw Simon went on the grass as well, but then it looked like TL4 Perez could not do anything about it. He was trying to avoid the contact there between himself and Simon there, but I was only looking at it briefly, and then that's what happened there from the Williams car of TL4 Perez. So hopefully he'll try and bounce back here as quickly as possible here. We've got a couple of battles going on here. We've got Frostan trying to close in on Sheepy now for 3rd place. Biofreak SA and Simon now for 5th and 6th place. And Nitrogas and Mr. P for 8th and 9th respectively. Oh yes, great stuff, nice. Brilliant stuff there from the brilliant stuff of the Japanese Grand Prix there. It looks like Sheepy's losing communication with the car there, so hopefully he'll try and keep going there with that car from my screen's point of view there, but hopefully he'll try and keep on going there. But what are you watching so far, Tim?
I'm watching exactly what you're watching now. This battle between Sheepy and Ferocious Dan and the McLaren.
Oh!
Who these guys have now moved up, and what's going on now?
Simon moves up to 5th. Biofreak SA drops down to 6th. I don't know if there's been a contact there on turn 16, 17, 18th there. So hopefully we'll try and find out sooner rather than later there. But Ferocious Dan closing on Sheepy now, Tim.
Watching Simon right now, and Ferocious Dan still trying to hunt down Sheepy, just as you said, and so far he's not able to make the pass. Of course, through the S's, that's not an ideal place to pass, but he's not even close enough. He's not even in striking distance at the moment. He's half a second behind, as now they are heading toward that uphill hairpin just down at the end of this straightaway as they go underneath the Fanatic Bridge here.
Yeah, absolutely manic stuff here. We're at the hairpin corner now, Tim. I'll let you carry on, sorry.
You're completely fine, Matt, but around the hairpin, and Sheepy, what did you say was going on with him now? Do you know if he's been able to get back in the car?
No, he is in the car, but it looked like there was a bit of massive movement, shall we say, of the car, shall we say, at this moment in time. But he is still in the car, as from what I see on the screen there, but hopefully he's still there. Don't worry, don't get me wrong, it's just hopefully it'll just still see intact with the car later on in the race.
Well, it doesn't appear like it has affected him too much, though. Ferocious Dan did get one good run out of that corner there, going through the chicane now. Sheepy puts a little bit more ground on him. Going down the straightaway now, this will complete lap 7 for them, and is now lap 8 for them, and Ferocious Dan still in 4th, following Sheepy in 3rd. Meanwhile, up front, Yas has a 4.6 second, or excuse me, Mr. Sky Z has a 4.6 second lead over Yas in 2nd place.
Yeah, absolutely massive there. First Dan's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Nigel Cash and Mr. P having a ding-dong battle there for 8th and 9th there. But I'm still watching from First Dan's point of view there. But I might just go to Mr. P there, because that was a ding-dong battle there between Nigel Cash and Mr. P at this moment in time. So hopefully he'll try and get back into 8th place. But Nigel Cash has done well there. He started off, let me just check the positions there. So at the moment, Nodgash and Sab are automatically made 4 moves, 4 biggest movers in the race here tonight. So Nodgash started off in 12th, and Sab started off right at the back in 15th, and he moves up to 11th place. So that's 2 big movers, as we can see there. So absolutely madness stuff there. I might have to go back to Ferocious Dan in a moment or two, but I want to keep watching Mr. P there. So with the drivers there tonight, is there anyone that you think that needs to do well, or could do well, to start off with in this next season, well, this season coming up, of the realistic performance team?
Well, I mean, as you pointed out last week, I seem to really zero in on Luke Bailey last season, and for good reason. He showed some speed, and now it kind of seems like maybe it's stagnated for him. So I'd say that he needs to do well. Mr. Sky Z, just for the sake of confidence, coming off of a championship, I feel like he needs to do well. It's very possible for him to do well, but I just think that extra boost of confidence can really carry him a long way. And Yas, who seemed to have some issues, and correct me if I'm wrong, was not able to make every race last season, and actually I think he had to back out toward the end of the season. He's going to have to do well if he wants a championship.
Absolutely. I mean, Yas can produce the goods on the day of the race here as well. Same with Mr. Skysea. I mean, would anyone try and take the crown off Mr. Skysea after 3 world titles in a row there? It's going to be tough there, Tim. I think it's going to be tough for him to get 4 places. 4 trophies there. Miss Ozone has left the session there. Yellow flag set to 3. So something must happen there with Ozone there.
Well, he has officially had a DNF. I'm not sure what has happened, but remember, he dropped down to 15th at the beginning of the race, Malcolm, as you pointed out. So it could just be a byproduct of that.
Absolutely. It could be, but I have to wait and see what happens here. But I'm just watching it from Ferocious Dan's point of view. Yellow flag set to 1 now. Ferocious Dan's going through the outside. Oh, nearly went for the outside there, but Sheepy's just holding on for 3rd place.
And now we have a virtual safety car, Malc.
Oh!
For what, though?
We had yellow flag set to 1, so something must happen at that point there. Sheepy's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane as well. But like I said, the guys are pitted now. I will not be surprised if they go for the mediums to last 17 laps. So they can do the mediums all the way to the end at this moment in time. But Frostan has pointed out into ahead of Sheepy now for 6th place there. So majority of the drivers have gone for the pits now. But Sab's moved up to 6th place now with the hard tyres. But look at this brilliant battle here. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. Tim.
Now, one thing I want to point out to you, and actually I want to ask you, what do you think, how do you think this is going to affect Mr. Sky Z? Because he had already passed the pit entrance. He had already bypassed the start-finish line by the time the virtual safety car was called out. So he had no realistic chance to pit. Now he has a 14-second lead, but with guys behind him having fresh tires.
Yeah, absolutely mad. It's tough on him. It's tough on him, but I'm sure he can last a few more laps with the softs because he has got a good opportunity there to try and improve that with the medium tyres, at least 1 or 2 more laps better than the other guys. And Biofreak who moves up to 2nd place as well, Tim. So anything can happen there. I was just saying, while you was asking the question to me, TB had lost the car through turn 7 there, so he went onto the gravel and lost the car there, so he's out of the race already. Mr. Sky is pitted now.
And our leader's in the pits now, and he has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Oh my goodness! Now I think we know how the virtual safety car is going to affect him.
Absolutely, but also Frostad has got a drive-through penalty for speeding during the virtual safety car moment there. Sheepy wants to try and get past Frostad as quickly as possible there, but like I said, Frostad will need to be careful. He needs to try and do the drive-through as quickly as possible if he doesn't want to lose out too much positions here at this moment in time here. But Sab holding on for 6. Frostan in 7th place, and Sheepy now for 8th place here. 3-car battle here for 6th place, Tim.
Watching just what you are, it's 2 McLarens, and they are side by side for a moment, it looked like, but they are not. It looks like Frostan is wanting to stick his nose underneath there, but he just cannot get it, and he goes into the grass. That's going to kill his momentum, and that might let the Red Bull of Sheepy get by. Not yet, though, as Frostan still stays ahead of Sheepy for the 7th position, but the McLaren of Sab is long gone, at least for the moment. Looks like Frostan is starting to hunt him down, and it looks like Sab is actually on older hard tires versus Frostan being on newer medium tires. So it looks like Sab is really just holding up this field, but Sab does move over and let them by. He realizes that they are faster than him, and he moves over, lets them by. Meanwhile, while that was going on now, Mr. Sky Z came out of the pits ahead of Yas, so Mr. Sky Z still technically has the lead once the pit stops cycle around.
Yeah, so that could capitalise a lot there, Tim, because that will be even better for Mr. Sky Z to win the race hits now, because like I said, Biofreak and Nitrogas would have to pit on lap 17 as predictions coming up, so to speak. And also, this is absolutely fantastic racing here. Whatever happens here, Yoss has got the fastest up the race there with 132.140, but Yoss doing everything possible. He moves up to 4th place now. F1 Mr. P drops down to 5th place there. Absolutely fantastic racing. Do you agree, Tim?
This is absolutely fantastic racing indeed, Malc, and I love it, and I hope, and it looks like, was there a Ferrari? Yes, Mr. Sky Z! Mr. Sky Z went off into the grass. I just saw through the camera angle that there was a Ferrari maybe in the dirt, and yes, Mr. Sky Z is now off, but I cannot actually look at him. Do you have a view on him, Malc? What happened?
It went on turn 5, I believe, turn 5 through the S's, and he went to the gravel. I haven't seen exactly what happened to him, but I just saw his car on the gravel at turn 5 there, just before turn 6, and then up the hill at turn 7. So that is a shock there tonight. If you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, you've just witnessed the third 3-time World Championship winner of the Realistic Performance Leagues, Mr. Sky Z, out of the race here tonight. TB is also out. Ozone is also out of the race here. But this could be anyone's race here tonight. And we might have a 2 in a bending against Nitrogas and Yoss there. Oh, Yoss is going through 130. Oh, this is absolutely madness stuff there. Tim.
Nitro Gas still trying to fight that car, but it looks like Yoss is going to get a better exit out of the chicane. In fact, he does, and he leaves Nitro Gas in the dirt. Nitro Gas, of course, with 11 laps on those tires versus only 3 for Yoss. Looks like Nitro Gas might be holding out. but for how long, who knows? Arguably, he could hold out for softs, but that is a long stretch, I do believe.
Well, the mediums can last, fresh mediums can last about 17 to 18 laps on the telemetry here, but it depends on if they do well with their setups and if they're not made into too much battles along the way there, Tim. But like I said, Nitrogas can hold on with those probably longer. Same with Biofreak SA as well. So they'll have a good chance to try and get there, as well as Mr. P as well. So they might have a chance here, Tim.
And Biofreak has a 5.3 second lead over Yas right now. And Biofreak, he's probably just hoping that he'll be able to hang on. And look for him, likely to pit for the softs. But when and if they do you think that they're going to be fast enough to catch Yas, who by that time, whose tires will be starting to wear?
I don't think they'll catch up to Yas. For me personally, I don't think they'll catch up to Yas because, like I say, if Biofreak can pit now, it's normally between 20 to 25 seconds. So either way, Biofreak can get dropped down to 6, 7-ish, depending on what I'm watching at the screen, shall we say. But same with Nitrogas, same with Mr. P as well. I can't see those guys catch up to Yas near the end of the race, if you want me to be perfectly honest. How about you, Tim?
I am in agreement. I do feel like it might be able to give us some nice racing, but I feel like Yas is just absolutely on fire here today, and with Mr. Sky Z out of the picture, it is his race to lose. Yeah,
absolutely stuff. But like I said, I don't want, and I'm sure he hates us mentioning about it, he went far ahead in the Bahrain Grand Prix. I don't know if you remembered it from last season, but then he had his wheel issue at Bahrain, and then he lost the lead on the last lap, which has brought some of the drivers into the podium stuff. He did get a podium, but he did lose out on the win, which he definitely deserved to win at Bahrain. But like I said, in F1 race, you don't want to lose any much time. You don't want to make any mistakes. It's just absolutely madness stuff there. But like I said, anything could happen. Anything could happen with this tonight, Tim.
That it could, but I do not remember the Bahrain race. That might have actually been the one that I missed. But you just telling the story, my heart absolutely breaks.
It was. Look, Yas was clearly in the lead and deserved to win. Then he made a mistake at turn 10 at the hairpin corner. Well, the wheel has lost connection with the wheel of on the car there, which has brought him to lose a little bit the front wing, which has brought Spud and I believe TL, I can't remember who was the other one as well. But they won the Bahrain Grand Prix as well. But that was just absolutely madness stuff. Mad race there as well. It was a fanatic race as well. But like I say, I don't want to jinx on Yas because he's doing a fantastic job. They're trying to close in on Biofreak SA by under 3 seconds now. With lap 15.27 of the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, at the glorious race at the Japanese Grand Prix. Tim.
Well, currently I am watching Biofreaks, who is just out in the lead, but it is now 2.5 seconds. So Yas has eat away tremendously at that gap. So Biofreak, when he pits, he will be probably rejoining. Truth be told, I have no idea now. It does not look like Biofreak's going to even be in the top 5 at this moment. It just does not look like he has the pace in comparison to Yas right now.
At the moment, no, but he's doing everything he can to hold on into first here, because Yas is going to be a Jaws moment there to try and be a chasing man there against Biofreak for first place. But he knows he's guaranteed to be first, but it depends on when Biofreak blinks to pit at this moment. So same with Nitrogas, same with Mr. P as well, and same with Sab as well. But Yas got the fastest lap of the race now with 1:31.929. Absolutely madness stuff there. But look at Frosh stand against Stevens on 1:30. Ah! What a move! What a move there from Ferocioustan. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant there from Ferocioustan. Tim.
I didn't see it, Malc, but I'll take your word on it. As now Ferocioustan pulls away from Steven. He now has to chase down what appears to be the next car on track, being Luke Bailey in the Red Bull, as they bypass a few drivers who have decided to take the pit stops now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Frostad had to take a drive-through penalty earlier on because he did speed through the virtual safety car earlier on in the race, so that compromised a bit. Oh no, Simon went onto the grass there. He nearly lost the car though, so he lost a bit of momentum there with to Sab there on 5th place here. But like I said, Simon will try and close it again onto Sab, who's on the quick, like a little bit quicker tyre wear than Sab, who's doing 15 laps of the hards. The hards can last quite a long distance there. It can go up to lap 21 to 22 fresh as well. So Sab would, if he wants to do well here, Sab will probably need to think about pitting for the softs in the next couple of laps or so. Tim?
Yes, he definitely will, and in fact, I don't see, if he does not pit this time, I have no idea why, as at this point, it's just hurting him staying out there. There is contact, and Sab goes through the grass and spins. He almost comes back onto the racetrack, but he stays off track as TB is now left, and Sab is going to rejoin this race in the 9th position. He just tried going into the corner a bit too early and got into the right rear of Simon's Haas, and that spun him around.
Yeah, I'm hoping, well, Sab's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting now, so he's going back into the pits now. But like I said, this is absolutely immense stuff here. Look at TL4FS going on to Simon now for 9th place here. TL4FS trying to make on the inside there, but he's had a quick glance there. He needs to try and get closer and closer than ever before here. But like I said, Simon did wait for Sab there. So Sab did a brilliant job there to move up to 5th place. He had a little bit of contact there with Simon, or Simon had contact with Sab at a 130R. Tim?
Now, I was watching Sab. Did Simon, what happened with Simon in that? Because I know that Sab hit him, but then I was focused completely on him. So Simon, what's going on with him?
Well, Simon's dropped out to 9th at the minute, which I'm still watching with TL4FS battling out here. So at the moment here, Simon's still got the front wing as well. So at this moment in time, so he's coming up to Spoon Curve now as well. Biofreak has pitted now for the soft tyres. Biofreak has pitted for the soft tyres now. So depending on what the guys are going to do here. But look at Ferocioustan. After his drive-through penalties, right back into this now. Coming up to 4th place against Luke Bailey now, Tim. Oh, we might have a two-in-a-bed. We might have a two-in-a-bed situation. Look at this side-by-side. There may be a side-by-side there with a two-in-a-bed at the famous corner. Oh, what a move. What a move there from Ferocioustan. Just done it at the nick of time there. Tim.
What a move indeed. This is absolutely an amazing race, and going back on what you asked me earlier, yes, it is an amazing race, Mount, and I hope that every race in the Performance League this season and from every season onwards is like this. This is absolutely great, real racing.
This is what you need, the need for speed, and you need that perfection of the greatest battles on them all. You need on-track battles there, and that's what we see. We see loads of those on-track battles there, good, clean, fair as well. And also we've got a couple of battles going on there. I'm going to go back to TL4FS and Simon for 9th and 10th. So Spudder's got a 3-second time battle for multiple warnings now. So absolutely madness stuff here. I tell you what, if this is like this, Tim, and I know you said this, that we hope to have it every single race from now on, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the guys here for the rest of the season. Don't you agree? To produce the goods.
Oh, definitely. Definitely it will be putting a lot of pressure. I mean, personally, if I was out there, I'd be under pressure if I was running in last place, just because the competition in the Invictus Racing League is so fierce. You have, some really solid drivers. Even our worst drivers are solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Nigel Gas got the fastest of the race now with a 131.707. Can TL4FS try and make the move here against Simon now for 9th place here. Going around the outside here. Nice. He's done a cheeky move there into the inside for... Oh, no, he doesn't. Simon defends. but absolutely man of stuff there. Good evening to Gareth and Sab. How you doing, mate? You alright? He's saying, realistically, why is TL4 not winning? He's struggling at the back of the race. He had to pit early there on lap 6 for the hard tyres, so he did add a little bit of a problem there as we speak. But TL4 is trying to close in on Simon now for 9th place here at this moment in time. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in as well. And still watching this battle here, Tim, between Simon and TL4. Is there anyone that you reckon has been done well this race? Would you agree?
Oh yeah. Well, obviously, Jos, as he's leading with a 14-second lead, that's the very easy answer that yes, he has done very well. Sheepy83, who started about 3rd or 4th in this race, has now moved his way up to 2nd. Of course, there has been a few incidents in Mr. Sky Z, who was dominant early on, dropping out of the race, but that is not to take away from Sheepy's ability and his performance right now at all. He has shown speed today, and where he's running in a 2nd position, a podium position, he definitely deserves.
Absolutely does deserve. But look at Biofreak now. Oh, what a move! What a move there from TL44S! What a move! I do apologise, Tim. You've been thinking, what went from Biofreak to TL44S? What's going on? Right, TL44S went through the inside of turn 1. Just enough gap there between Simon and himself there, but TL4S, just what a move at turn 1 and 2. What a fantastic move there. Oh, you need to watch it to see it relive that again. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. Tim.
I'll take your word for it. I was actually watching Biofreak because I agree with you, Malc. He is also showing some impressive speed here. He has pitted for the soft tires 2 laps ago, and he's been able to maintain a podium position, and he's got only 6 laps to try to hang on to it. So we'll see if he can, as he is about 6 seconds or so ahead of Ferocious Stan in 4th, who has rebounded very nicely, might I say, from his drive-through penalty from earlier.
Absolutely fantastic stuff there. Oh, absolutely fantastic stuff there. But Nitrogash moves up to 6th place. He's done a brilliant job here, Nitrogash. And Biofreak as well. They've took the mediums to last longer than ever before there. So fantastic driving there from these guys here. Simon trying to close in on TL4S with the DRS straight there. Simon's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. TL4S is gone on the racing line now. He's going back onto the defensive line now. Simon makes the move! TL4S holds on! TL4S holds on! No!
And Simon's in the grass. Simon is in the grass and he's hit the wall, but he keeps the car straight somehow, some way he does, but it is not going to help him out at all as he is running the 10th position and with undoubtable damage.
Yeah, he's very, very lucky there, Simon. He's absolutely lucky there. It could have been a lot more worse than ever before, but he's still holding on there for the 10th place here tonight. We're on lap 21-27 of the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. I really cannot wait, Tim, for the brand new season next week. I can't believe it's next week to start it all off. It's just absolutely fantastic stuff at this moment in time. But people who have impressed me the most at the moment here throughout the last like tonight, as well as a reminder as well. You've got Nitrogash, you've got Ferocious Stan, you've got Luke Bailey as well. On that day, they can be really good. TL4S, I know he's had a bit of a bad on lap 6 as well, but he's still doing well on 9th place here at the moment here on the hard tyres, so he's trying to pull into, try and catch up to Mr. P, who's already on the fresher soft tyres. But with the drivers here tonight and Jos as well, I think Jos could be a good contender for winning the Drivers' Championship, in my personal opinion. So that's just my opinion. I think if Jos can try and keep it consistent on the track, I think he'll do well this season. Tim.
Undoubtedly. Now, what are the teams? Are Mr. Sky Z and Jos teammates? Because in a perfect world, just imagine those two being teammates and duking it out for a championship.
I've not had confirmation about that. I've not heard confirmation about that, but we will get the full lowdown just before we start the first race next week anyway. So we'll try and get that eased up and get that clarification for everyone else as well. But like I said, we're on lap 22-27 team of the Invictus Racing League. The realistic performance at the Japanese Grand Prix here. Stevens trying to close in on Nitrogash now for 6th place here, but Nitrogash needs to pull Socky, because it looks like Stevens getting even closer, but Nitrogash could be close to 5th place here for Luke Bailey here on 5th place, coming up to 130R now. So, Tim, who are you watching so far?
Well, I really have just been watching Simon for the past little bit just to see how he'll be able to recover. But going to move up through the pack here because I'm actually noticing that Nitrogash is starting to close the gap on Luke Bailey, who's in a 5th position. Nitrogash in the Toro Rosso, Luke Bailey in the Red Bull. So essentially, they're driving the same car if you really want to get technical about it. But Luke Bailey is holding on to 5th position, but Nitrogash is storming. Of course, Luke Bailey on old medium tires, Nitrogash on old soft tires. So this is actually going to be they're actually about the same ratio, give or take. The same age of tires when you take into consideration how much longer the medium tires last. I'm sorry, Malc, I can't spit it out. But Nitrogash more or less hovering around a second behind Luke Bailey and may very well be able to make a move here soon.
Yeah, so the mediums can last about 17 to 18 laps fresh. So whatever happens here, there'll be another 4 laps remaining between Luke Bailey on the mediums, and with Nitrogash can only last up to like a lap 11 or 12 laps of the softs. So he's got either much halfway through his tyre wear opportunity here, but normally it's like 3/4 of the way of the tyre strategies. That's when it really kicks in, where the tyres are not going to hold on and they're not going to be even quicker than ever before. But if Nitrogash wants to get 5th place here, Tim, he needs to make the move sooner rather than later.
That he definitely will, Malc.
Absolutely. Sorry, Tim.
No, you're completely fine, Malc. It is lap 24 of 27 right now, and Yas still very much in command of this race and even increasing his lead over Sheepy. It is now up to 17.2 seconds. It was 16.9 just 20 seconds ago.
I know, it's just immense stuff. Yas is on a different planet. Yeah, same with Mr. Sky C. On their days, they can be a real force reckoning, shall we say. But we've got 2 battles going on here. We're watching Luke Bailey, Nitrogash at the moment on my screen, but also Biofreak closing on Sheepy now for 2nd place. Biofreak, he's done a brilliant job here. Whatever happens here tonight, he's done a brilliant job here to hold on to the podium stuff tonight, Tim.
Biofreak, he really has, he got a bone thrown to him during the virtual safety car, and then when Mr. Sky Z, when he spun, and Biofreak, he wanted to show, hey, it's not a fluke that I'm running up here, because he led for a while, and he wants to say, hey, it's not a fluke, because I am right here. I am on the soft tires, and I am able to hang on. And he is actually battling with Sheepy right now, very, very closely. This is going to be an interesting battle, and I'm just going to sit here and watch it on the edge of my seat.
Absolutely fantastic. So there, look at Biofreak. Biofreak makes the move. He makes the move. What a move there from Biofreak. What a move there from Biofreak. But we'll have to go back to Nitrogash now. This is down the straight now with the DRS straight now. 2 in a bit. We've got 2 in a bit. Nitrogash moves on to 5th now. Sorry, going ahead of myself there. Nitrogash moves on to 5th. Tim.
Yes, he does, and this is just an amazing battle, and really those are the only words that I can think of to say to describe it, as Nitrogash, 4.9 seconds behind 4th place of Ferocious Dan, is now going to hunt him down as he pulls away from the Red Bull of Luke Bailey. Yeah,
he's trying to do everything possible there, but look at Mr. P now, trying to close in on Stephen now for 7th place here, 3/10 off, so Mr. P's on the limiter now with the soft tyres now, so he's 3/4 of the tyre wear of the limited that I suggested what was going to happen here tonight. But look at Mr. P now, trying to do everything possible here at this moment in time. Tim.
Yeah, Mr. P, he has shown decent speed here today as well, as he's running in the 8th position at the moment. in that Haas machine. Simon, another Haas machine, 3.7 seconds back. Of course, he's had some issues, but Steven, he obviously knows that Mr. P is breathing down his neck, and he is trying to pick up the pace here just a little bit. I thought for a minute he was going to go wide, but it was actually F1 Mr. P who went just a little bit wide through that corner there, as Steven actually seems to be holding on to his composure, and Mr. P is just ready to pounce. He is now within half a second, give or take, behind Steven in that Mercedes. Of course, the Haas machine chasing him down, going through the chicane, rounding the final corner. It is lap 26 of 27 for Yas, about to be lap 26 for these guys as well. It is 2 laps to go in the Japanese Grand Prix.
Absolutely fantastic stuff there, Tim. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. But Luke Bailey's got a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits there. So whatever happens here tonight, Luke Bailey will drop down. He'll drop down to 8th place as well. Absolutely manic stuff there. The guys are on the limiter here. TL4 has got the fastest lap of the race now. So if he was the real life points here, he would have got the fastest lap point there tonight in 10th place. But look at the penultimate lap here on Invictus Racing League, the realistic performance at the Japanese Grand Prix here. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. Still watching 2 battles going on here. Nitrogas Luke Bailey now for 5th and 6th. Steven and Mr. P for 7th and 8th respectively. Tim.
Excuse me, Matt. Yeah, but Yas now crossing the line to take the white flag. It is white flag in the air. Last lap for the Invictus Racing League's Japanese Grand Prix. This, of course, a preseason race. Yas 16 seconds ahead of BioFreak, who is in second, with Sheepy in the Red Bull in third. Yas has just a few corners to go before he can call himself a winner in this preseason.
Yeah, it should hold on there, Yas. Whatever happens here, he should not make any mistakes at all. But that could be a commentator's curse coming up, and he's probably not going to be happy with us after what I said as well. But
isn't it only a commentator's curse if something bad happens to them?
Yes, no, maybe 50-50 from a friend. Ask the audience, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to have to say yes.
Ask the audience.
We'll have to see what the audience would say, but I think they'll have to say yes, and hell yes on that one. But
there you go.
So just see where Yoss now. Yoss is coming up to Spoon Curve now. Coming up to the 3rd sector now. Soon, well, he's still in the 2nd sector, sorry, but he's coming up to the end of the 2nd sector into the 3rd now. But like I said, Yoss, what a drive from him. He's done an absolutely brilliant drive there. He's coming up to turn 16, 17, and then 18 now. What a drive. Fantastic drive there from Yoss. He has just won, Tim, the Japanese Grand Prix. So congratulations to Yoss on a fantastic drive there. Well done to him. BioFree coming up to 2nd place now. For 2nd place again. Sorry, I do apologise. BioFreak, what a drive from him. Brilliant drive. And Sheepy finishing in 3rd place as well. That is still brilliant stuff there. But Sheepy has got a 5-second penalty as well. So, for unserved penalty. Rush Stanfish would finish in 4th place. I'm not sure if he was... if he did have the penalty, I think it would have been a different story there. But Nitrogash moves up to 5th. Luke Bailey drops down to 7th because of the 5-second penalty. Steven moves up to 6th place. F1 Mr. P in 8th. Simon finishes in 9th place. TL4 will finish in 10th place. I think he'll be absolutely livid with what happened at lap 6 of the race, lap 5, 6 of the race. But like I said, I'm sure TL4 will bounce back here into the top 4 as what he has been doing for the last few races last season. So he finishes in 10th. Sab started off in 15th, he moves up to 11th place there, and so Spud now would finish off, round off the Japanese Grand Prix team for in 12th place to finish it all off.
And that, I do believe, concludes it. And that was just an amazing race, Mount. Probably one of the best races, if not the best race that I've seen while commentating for Invictus.
Oh, it is definitely a classic. This has been one of the classic pre-season races. It's a shame that this is not an actual one of the live league races here. It's a shame about that, because I would have liked to see what happened in the battles of the Drivers' Championship battles and the Constructors as well. But well done to Jos, who just finished in first place. Biofreak SA in second place there, and Sheepy as well, who finishes in third place. So brilliant drives from the three drivers there tonight. What a drive, what an immense drive there from the guys there. And we'll be doing the usual classification now. So here are your race classification for the Japanese Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. You got Jos in first place, Biofreak SA in second place, Sheepy in third place, Frostan in fourth, Nigel Gash in fifth place, O'Stephen in sixth place, Luke Bailey in seventh place, F1 Mr. P in eighth place, Simon finishes in ninth place, TL44S in 10th place, Sab will finish in 11th place, Spud in 12th, Mr. Sky C, TB, Ozone are the only ones who have had their DNFs earlier on, and Nigel Gash, who did the biggest mover of the race, with 7 places as well.
Now, if Mr. Sky Z had not spun, he may have been the one to win, but I feel like there would have still been a very close battle up front, and that's really what I like to see, and I'm liking this right now.
I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to have to see the battle between Jos and Mr. Sky C for the two drivers. I know they'll be on, which I'm guessing they could be on the like, say, slower cars like the Williams types car, but if they can win it with Williams, that they are absolute legends on there, whatever happens here. But what's your thoughts of the race tonight in three words?
In 3 words, May and Zing.
Fair dues. 3 syllables. I accept that. Fair play on that, Tim. So, like I said, Tim has said it was absolutely amazing of the race here tonight. This has been one of the classic races at the Japanese Grand Prix, and like I said, I'm saying with Tim, I can't wait for the season to start, and I can't believe we're starting next week with the Japanese Grand Prix, and with the battles going on left, right, and centre. It's just a fantastic stuff there. But have you got any final words before we stop the stream, Tim?
I do not, Malc. That race has left me
speechless.
Well, maybe not speechless, but most certainly I want to go back and watch it.
I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you at all. I really want to like to watch it again after our voices are still intact and not gone there. But I'd like to thank everyone who's watched the stream so far. If you haven't done so, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races on the YouTube channel. Not only we do the YouTube channels, but we also do the Facebook, Instagram and Twitter social media side of things, and also check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com to join. If you enjoyed that race as much as what we did, please make sure you sign up, and we might get you in as soon as possible. I'd like to say a big massive thank you to yourself, Tim, for the greatest commentary of them all, the American commentator. Absolute yeehaw legend on that one. Tim, thank you very much for that. Just an honour, and always. And this was the Invictus Racing League. I was your host with the most, Malc, with the greatest commentator of them all, Tim. At the Japanese Grand Prix, we will start the brand new season of the Realistic Performance League next week. Don't miss out, guys. Make sure you tune in live and exclusive on 8 p.m. on Tuesdays for all of the races to start off. Will Mr. Sky C, I was going to say, will Mr. Sky C win his 4th title in a row, which has not been done at all? Or would a shocker, would an outsider prove the doubters wrong by producing one of the greatest ever seasons they ever witnessed at the Realistic Performance? Like I said, make sure you don't miss out on the races of them all. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you all next week at the glorious, glorious race for the start of the first race of the season. Thank you, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.